Good morning, everybody. Today is Sunday, December 19th. Progress, not perfection. My coffee mug. I designed this coffee mug. Best F and Dad here with your quick COVID update. Numbers are not good, but I want to talk about we are going to have two effing pandemics. All right. So everyone knows about Omicron. The numbers are bad in the Northeast and the Midwest, and what I've been telling you guys for the last month is starting to come true, right? So the aliens have surrounded New York City. New York City itself, 5, 6, 7,000 cases a day now. Chicago's up to 3,000 cases a day. So the two, New York City is the largest, most populated city in America. Chicago is number 3. So when they take off, we're going to have a huge increase. Now, remember, that's Delta. But what have I been telling you guys? I've been telling you guys that the South is sneakily going up in case numbers, right? And the South is going to reemerge, and it's starting to, okay? Just look at Florida, look at Louisiana, and yes, look at Houston. Now, South has already gone through its Delta surge, so this is an Omicron surge. We're going to have two pandemics. Okay, what do we know about Omicron so far? Most likely, well, we know it's about 3 times more contagious. Its doubling time is 1.5 days to 3 days. The doubling time in number of cases, of Omicron cases. That's crazy. When Delta was first starting, at the same point, Delta's doubling time was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And Omicron is doubling 2 days. Right? So Omicron is going to be effing crazy. Now, we know it's much more contagious. We know doubling time is a lot faster. We suspect that it's milder cases, but we're not completely sure because the people catching it, a larger percentage of them have been vaccinated and prior infections and the younger population so far. That's what has been out of South Africa. It's curious to see what's going to happen here in the South. Don't worry about the New York numbers, the Chicago numbers, the up north. That's all Delta. We know about Delta. You're going to see increased hospitalizations, et cetera, et cetera. Percentage-wise, it's lower. So some people go, percentage-wise, hospitalizations are lower this year than last Christmas's surge. But that's the effect of the vaccine, guys. Even though we're approaching last year's numbers, the hospitalizations remain about half, and that's the effect of the vaccines. And again, it's the unvaccinated that are primarily suffering severe disease and hospitalizations. Smaller percentage is vaccinated, and those percentages are going to increase with Omicron. So I'm telling you, we're going to have two pandemics, okay? So follow me through this logic. And by the way, in September, when you had other people, talking heads, saying, "Oh, Delta will burn through real fast." Remember this? And I was like, "Oh yeah, Delta went through UK in a couple months, and we could be out of this by September." And I was like, "No, we're not going to be out of this by September." And I was like, Delta UK numbers did not go down that bad. I mean, they were still hanging around 30,000, and now UK has more cases than they've ever had. 80,000 cases a day, whatever. So I was right. Delta did not go away in September. We are still going through this Delta surge up in the Northeast, okay? So that's pandemic number 1. Now, Delta's taking roughly 3 months, okay? So I've been talking about this Delta surge, since November. So November, December, January. So New York City, New York State, New Jersey, Pennsylvania will peak sometime at the end of December, beginning of January, right? Because that's how long it's going to take to go through Delta. Problem is, Omicron is doubling every 2 days. Let's just call it 2 days, make it simple. And people go, see, South Africa is already going down. First of all, South Africa cases are not going down yet. They might have peaked, but there are other provinces that are very high. But just because it's peaking, it's coming, you still got to go on the downside. So I don't understand how people confuse this. They headline read or something. So in South Africa, Omicron was found beginning of November. We're heading towards the end of December. We're peaking. And so we're talking maybe 8 to 10 weeks, right? For it to completely burn through. Let's just call it 2 months, 8. So what's gonna happen, here's my prediction, this is what I've been telling y'all. We're gonna have 2 pandemics. We're gonna have 2 pandemics. The North is gonna be going through Delta in January. And because of Omicron's rapid increase and how quickly it kind of comes and goes, the South is going to go, it's also going to surge in January, really quickly make up, and we're going to have a Delta pandemic in the North, while at the same time we're going to have an Omicron pandemic in the South, southern states. Dr. V, how do you know this? All right, pay attention. Houston Methodist, which is one of the major hospital chains here in Houston, and Houston has one of the largest medical centers in the world. Houston Methodist announced on Friday that 45% of their hospitalized patients are now Omicron. 45% of their hospitalized patients are now Omicron. I'm not talking about testing, I'm not talking about positive people staying at home, I'm talking about hospitalized patients. And in basically a matter of 10 days, Omicron has grown to 45% of the hospitalizations in one major Houston hospital. That's effing nuts, y'all. It's nuts. So, if you look at the numbers, Houston numbers are on a dramatic rise. We had gotten down to maybe 100, 200 cases a day. And Houston's the 4th largest city in the United States. We're back up to 1,200. You know, when this pandemic started in July 2020 and Houston got up to 1,700 cases, I was like, oh, screw this. This is hot. I'm getting out of here. And I left Houston for Albuquerque for that month. Now it's 1,200 cases. And it's just a matter of time. It becomes 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 cases a day here in Houston. So, if you follow my logic on the timing, Delta is slower, lasting longer. Omicron is going to catch up. And so we're going to have a dual pandemic come January, Delta in the North and Omicron in the South. And the best way to protect yourself is through a booster. If you're talking about Omicron, you know, AstraZeneca, not effective, not helpful against Omicron. J&J, not helpful against Omicron. What is helpful is boosted Pfizer and boosted Moderna. I am a boosted Moderna, right? So, Dr. V, what if they're telling me 6 months before you get a booster. What did I do if I'm only 3-4 months after my second Moderna? Well, you should have gotten it sooner. No, I'm kidding. If you live in the South, if you live in a hot area, you might want to consider getting a booster shot before 6 months. That's not the CDC guidance. That's not the FDA recommendation currently. It could become that pretty quickly as this Omicron data comes to us. So just be paying attention because they might tell you to go ahead and not wait that 6 months, get boosted. So the way through this is not, the way through Omicron is not vaccination, it's boosted vaccination, okay? Dr. V, what if I had the J&J? I would get boosted with one of the RNAs. I would get boosted with Moderna and J&J. And honestly, I mean, they're not really checking, you know? So if you had J&J like a couple months ago, I would go get boosted with Moderna or Pfizer, you know? So I was shocked to see that 45% of the hospitalized cases in one Houston hospital, major Houston hospital, is now Omicron in a matter of 10 days, guys. This is wacko. So I'll be back later. I'm going to show you guys, I said I was promising. This is, you know, I have allergies. And I started thinking, what if I don't have, what if like, this isn't allergies? Maybe this is mild Omicron. I might have to like check. So I'm gonna, I have some of those rapid antigen tests, so I'll swab myself, show you how to do it. You know, you can get those at Walgreens, CVS. No, I'm not getting paid. I don't have blah, blah, blah. Shut up. All right, love y'all. Stay safe, guys. Take this variant very seriously.